Everyone, Mango7Roll here. How we doing today? Welcome to another episode of Overhit, and it's finally official. This was posted a couple days ago, but we are now getting Overhit on global. So not just me in Canada by my lonesome, not just those spiders and snakes and whatever else and kangaroos in Australia, not whatever's over there, but everybody for once, finally. And as expected, they're going to screw us over. So every time US has got something first and Canada's got it later, they kept the US server. But of course, with Canada having its own thing, they have to screw over Canadians. So our server is basically just going to sit by its lonesome over in the corner and nobody's ever going to touch it. There's really no reason to be entirely honest. Everybody's going to want to play on global, so I will be restarting then. A lot of people have been asking me that. I wanted to make it really clear, since a lot of people are playing on Canadian server now and they want to know where I'm going, so that's official, where I'm handling it. Some feedback about the game, some honest feedback about the game so far before we get going is I really like it. I really want to like it, but there's a lot of things holding it back, one of which is Nexon, which you all are always angry about, but so far they haven't really done me too wrong, so I'm enjoying it. But the big thing for me is the lack of endgame content, which isn't really fair to punish it on, considering it was like a test release to start off with. So at the end of the game, which you reach pretty quickly, there's really not much to do. It got to the point where stamina wasn't really too worth spending. You could just get a little bit here and there, and the main thing was like a raid you do once every 2 hours where you got your gear. But they have a JP version with tons of content, so I have no worry that we'll get that in the future. So that was my main two thoughts behind it. I love the characters. I love the gameplay. The actual game itself was kind of laggy, unfortunately. Maybe that's something that they'll fix too. But the entire UI, everything just wasn't as responsive as what I'm used to. There's a lot of problems with this game, but there's a lot of good things as well. So I just want to be super clear about that as we go ahead here. So I want to read some of this too. I haven't fully read this. I know it's coming in about 5 days, but I didn't really super understand. It says we launched in 2 companies previously in order to make sure they provided the best possible service to our players. Okay. We will be opening a new server at the global launch for players who may have been concerned about the discrepancy between themselves and the heroes who have had a head start. Yep, so screw all of us Canadians. They wouldn't do that if it was the other way around. They never do. But that's pretty much it. The part that I'm worried about, and this is somebody who played the open beta, whatever you want to call it, extensively, is the game itself. Not the game itself, but the way the game runs, the performance, the stability, the smoothness, the responsiveness, everything about the game never got better. It was always like actually slightly worse every patch. So I hope that's something they fix with the global launch, because that was my biggest complaint, having to hit a button like 6 times before it goes. Or I'd be in a raid and I'd try to use a heal, and then 10 seconds later it would light up and cast. It's just a lot of stuff like that that just really wasn't enjoyable to me. Okay, so let's go here. This is the question I saw. Hey, why does it seem like heroes have lower summon rates in the global version? And I want to read this out because I haven't read this yet. I did see the question, but I wanted to save it for my reaction here. It says this is due to the different service philosophies as described above, and players should note that we've included other features to compensate for this difference. For example, there's a special legendary gacha that exists only in the global version that allows you to obtain the highest grade SSR guaranteed heroes, not by chance. In other words, only the global version of this game will let you get the highest grade heroes without worry. They really stretched the truth there, by the way. There will also be Hero Soulstone exclusively for the global version so that players can craft high-grade heroes through gameplay. It says, finally, we are also preparing various special systems exclusively for the global version. So that's about it for that. So for those of you who didn't know, I think the SSR rate in KR was 5% or something similar to that, and in global or Canada, whatever you want to call it, we got a 2%. And honestly, I'm not worried about this. Like, lower rates are obviously worse, but in the current state of the game, part of the thing that made it fun was SRs, which are basically like the 4 stars of this game if you're coming from Epic 7, were as good or better than SSRs a lot of times, because the way you upgrade your stats, there's a ton of different ways, but the main one is getting dupes to increase the levels. So The highest level cap is 40. You get a dupe, you go to 45. You get a dupe, you go to 50, all the way up to 65, I believe. And you could get your SRs to 65 pretty easily. I had basically every SR in the game at 65, and my highest SSR was 50 at the time, almost 55, because I almost had another Ash Shard. So for non-super whales, it actually made it really fun, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm not sure how that's going to go. I know a lot of people are against it, a lot of people for it. We'll have to see. Also, the legendary gacha is kind of a troll because that is a guaranteed SSR after 10 tenfolds, but there's a 10% chance in that guaranteed SSR to get rare heroes you can only get in the legendary gacha, and I don't know how they handle that in the other version. But those are the ones I want to reroll for if I'm going to reroll for this game. I don't think it's super worth rerolling unless you're going super deep like the 10 tenfold ones, because you get so many rolls. But I just want to start with one of those 3, because in my entire time playing, I never got one. I hit about 7 guaranteed gachas and didn't get a single one of the 10% ones, which is understandable. But I want to force one to start off with right off the bat. There's a cute eye patch girl. There's a pirate guy, I think. I don't even know. There's some duderinos and dudettes, and it looks awesome. Anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about today. This game coming out in about a week. I will be streaming it. You will see this stream for sure. And I have a decent amount of knowledge about the game. Like, I'm not perfect, but I have a good amount, especially from the global server, not from the JP server. But I know how to start things off now. So I've got a lot of stuff prepped for the future that I'll start to release closer to the release date of the game. So, as always, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe as always, and I can't wait to join you in Overhit, and hopefully you have fun with it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye, everybody.